Okay, today we're working on a 2017 A4 2.0 Quattro. So what we're fixing is this dumbass little dent. So we got to do this door and that door. To do that door, you got to take off that mirror, these handles, and so I'll show you guys how to take all that apart. To take off the mirror, you got to take off the inside door panel. To take off the inside door panel, you remove this piece and you start from the back and slowly pop your clips. Because of this guy, you start from the right side, you'll break this clip. You're kind of screwed. Next, you got 3 bolts. You got one right here that I just took out, and another one right here, and your last one is at the bottom, right there. It's a T25 to take those out. So after you take out those 3 bolts, you get your little bone and start hitting all your tabs under it, so it starts to kind of come loose. Once it comes loose, you slide it up. Now we'll get in here and take off all of our little tabs. So now, after you disconnect your door handle, you disconnect the mirror, and you disconnect your main plug to the door. Now you got 3 bolts. One, there's a little black rubber garment right here. And you take off this rubber garment, and then there's 3 bolts. They're both T30s, 2 right there, and 1 right there. Next, you remove the speaker. It has these 4 8mm bolts, and the reason why you take that off is because when you take out the mirror, after you unplug those T30, you have this little guy, and it's way up in here, and the only way to get your hand up there, or the only way to take those off, is to get your hand up there and pull those off. I kind of did a different feed to help me later. I just grabbed some speaker wire and I tied this onto here, so when I put this back on, I could use this speaker wire. Well, to untape all of it again, and I'll tape this speaker wire to right here. And so when I put this back on, I could feed it right back through to make it that much easier for when you're installing that. So after we got the mirror off, now we gotta uninstall these door handles. These handles are actually very easy. One thing you gotta do is slide to your left. Try and do it one-handed, sorry. Slide to your left, and they pop right off. So now what you do is you disconnect this wire, and you disconnect this wire, and you pull this off. This whole piece will slide off. They're just held in by these little guys right here. After you do that, there's some little T25 nuts, and you take each of those off. There's another one right behind this. So my mistake, these are actually 20 T20s inside those. After you take your little light out, you disconnect this, you come to this side, There's a little rubber garment. Then you use that T20 to unscrew that. When you unscrew that, make sure you don't over screw it and this bolt kind of falls. Even though on the back side it kind of stops, but just for future reference, you don't want to drop that. So after you take this off, you kind of just pull a little hard, and these little clips kind of pop off by themselves. Then you take your rubber garments off, and under this rubber garment is another nut. But you don't have to take that nut off, because then you're gonna take off this whole track. So long as I got those off to paint it, we're pretty good. On to the back. And the back door is pretty much the same thing. You slide to your left to get those out. And same thing with this one. You could pop these out, take off your wiring. Then after you take off the wiring, you disconnect that bolt back here. Once you take this off, and there's the same thing. You pop that off and it's the 20T, and it's the exact same thing as the front door.